felt like going live. I feel like I was supposed to. So here I am. Somebody said I look so pretty. Thank you so much. That's why I was smiling. I heard somebody say that. I want to talk about love today. So I'll be pulling a few cards about love. But something that I wanted to talk about as far as like, oh look, it says your heart is a portal. Can you see that? The heart chakra, love. Whew. But something that I heard like, or that I wanted to give an update on is that like every year, like my gifts become stronger. I get some other gift, like I get something else that comes in. And look at this, carnelian. And this year I've like noticed like my dreams are like more prophetic. Like I always had prophetic dreams, but they were like rare. But now it's like every time I remember a dream, it's prophetic. All my other dreams are just like I don't remember them. I remember the feeling of them, and they're like, I don't know, sometimes nightmarish, but like the ones I remember are always like prophetic dreams about something that's going to happen in the future, and like to someone I know, and how I can like, I try to prevent it. The purpose of me doing this, the intention of me doing this energy update and the energy updates that I've been posting for a while now is to ignite something in people, to empower them, and to give them the tools that they need to go to that next level of remembering who the fuck they are. That's why I'm doing this. And I feel like the message I want to give right now is like not to give up on yourself, which sounds very basic. It sounds very rudimentary, but like it's like that saying, like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's like, what's that other thing? It's like reinventing the wheel. Like the wheel is a perfect invention, and it still works and performs perfectly today. So just because something is like tried and true and old doesn't mean it don't have like the zest it needs. Hello everyone, even though I don't like to say that word. Hi everybody, hey. But yeah, don't give up on yourself is the first message I want to give. But I did want to do like love today. I'm also feeling a little bit of like dragon energy, and I feel like there's like shame around something. Maybe when I said like both the dragon energy and the thing with like romance, I know there's a live action of that How to Train Your Dragon thing. I'm just gonna start shuffling. What I always think about whenever I see like How to Train Your Dragon, like the first thing I think about is how like there are no people of color in those movies, even though like if those events were to be in real life, there would undoubtedly be plenty of people of color. It's like being kicked out of your own story. So there might be a little bit of that here with like, yeah, look at this. Oh, everybody loves to see the tarot cards. Like nobody like listens to me, I feel like, when I talk, but then like the tarot cards are like, ah, my God, she knows what she's talking about. The moon, 18, the grandmother. I feel like somebody here like has like, or somebody watching, there's like this wound, I can feel it, of like somebody like doing you wrong. What was I talking about earlier? Like I said, the How to Train Your Dragon, like being left out of your own story. Like it feels like somebody lied and like maybe pretend they didn't date you, or pretended like they didn't kiss you or have sex with you, like something like that. Like they told people they didn't, or they like pretended you didn't exist in public, but in private, like they were all on you. It reminds me of that show Normal People, where that happened. or maybe even like a little bit of what's it called? What is that show called? Heartstopper. Heartstopper. A little bit of Heartstopper, where like it was like in private you were all over me, but then in public you like denounced me and you like pushed yourself away from me. And I feel like that's also like, it could also be from like dragon energy. This Ruby here, dragon energy from like past lifetimes, or even when you go to sleep, like maybe you like pop out as a dragon. I don't know. I keep hearing a click where like dragons are also like denounced now. Like they were a real thing, and like now people pretend like they didn't exist, or like they're mythical creatures. Everything on the Chinese zodiac is like considered a real creature except for the dragon. Like the dragon is the one that like doesn't exist, but like it did. And that's how I feel. That's the feeling that's here. Is there anything else that needs to be said about this before I move on to something else? Four of Bowls, just the Four of Cups. I love this card because it looks like somebody like trying to get some water from the waterfall, but like they're too far in front of it. It's like it's an illusion. Oh my gosh, it's 2-2 and then it's 2-2-2 the time. So there's definitely love, something to do with partnership today. It's like thinking you're getting fulfillment, but you're not. Or like thinking something is gonna lead to something. You know how like with people and also in like movies and stuff, like you do all these things. What's that movie 27 Dresses? You do all these things to like try to get somebody's attention or get them to like you. And like you think eventually they'll notice or it'll add up, and then it don't. I love that 27 Dresses movie because I always get to hate on the sister and how the main character, she did all that work and her sister comes in and like lies and like it's a pretender, and she gets the guy like that her sister was going for the whole time. That's here, this woundedness. For some people watching, it could literally be your sibling who did this to you, or it could be your best friend who went after someone that you were obviously interested in, and that feeling of betrayal by both of them, and like the person that you wanted pretending like they didn't know like you were interested in them, like they couldn't like see you, like notice that you liked them, and like then they dated your sister, or they dated your cousin, or they dated your teammate or your roommate or something like that. But like both of those people knew that you were interested in them. It's like this hoax, and like trying to convince you that you're crazy, or like ignoring your feelings and your emotions. Which I feel like was also kind of present in How to Train Your Dragon. And I also feel like another critique about those films, like the animated ones, obviously, because the live action one hasn't come out as I'm posting this. It's like how, I can't think of his name right now. Would anybody like to type his name? The main character of How to Train Your Dragon. I didn't like how he eventually got the girl. I feel like that was very unrealistic, because I feel like no matter how like impressive he was or how well he handled the dragons or whatever, I feel like someone like her would never like choose him. And I don't like when they don't do that in the films. I also feel like, why would he want someone that didn't want him until he was accomplished? I almost wished he would have been like, hold on now, like, hold on, I don't want you. Like, you weren't messing with me when I was down, but now you want me when I'm up. I'ma fuck with this person over here instead of you. Like, I wish that could have happened. Which also kind of reminds me of the movie Cinderella Story. Okay. So, that's a bit of like the lovey-dovey part for somebody. I don't know who that was for. Yeah. Yeah. I also feel like, I don't know if I want to use these. Let's do it. I also feel like right now is like a, I don't want to say, it's not so much a tower moment as it is like a broken dish moment, you know? Like a broken plate, but not so much a tower moment. I feel like right now is not the time to rely on the mind to lead the way. Because I feel like if you go based off of the mind, if you go based off of thoughts, then like it'll lead you to doom every time. But if you step back from that, kind of like I was saying in my most previous energy update, if you step back from that, you'll see that everything is fine. But if you go based off of your mind, it'll just tell you everything isn't fine. It's kind of like in Matilda with Danny DeVito, where the car, like he changes the mileage on the car with the little reverse screwdriver thing. And it's like the thing is saying like it's the opposite. It's saying it's fine, but like the car is breaking down. He was like, he sold me a lemon. Yeah, it's like a lemon, but it's like the opposite of a lemon. It's like a lemon is something that looks nice on the or it could be both. Something that looks nice on the outside, like attractive, but then on the inside it's like sour and it's like gonna hurt your tongue. Full card. Four of Swords. It's the Lovers in reverse, but I'm gonna put that one back in there. But yeah, for some, or for maybe all of us, I feel like it is a lemon. Like something needs to go. Something that once looked attractive is turning out to be sour. I feel like, like that's a thing. Needs to go, needs to be released. But I also feel like it's not like a big deal. If you go based off of your mind, it will be a big deal. But if you go based off your heart and your intuition, it's not that big of a deal. Like I've had things where like, I'll give you an example. When I was in college, especially my last year of college, I had a lot of anxiety because it was during the lockdown. And before class, I chugged my water because I had the Nature Valley water, which is in those fancy glasses. And I chugged it before class and I chipped my tooth. And I like had like a close to a breakdown. I was like, oh my God, like everybody on the Zoom call is gonna see my chipped tooth and I'm gonna look crazy and I'm gonna have a chipped tooth forever and my tooth is gonna fall out. I had all these thoughts that I literally had to leave the online class. I could not take it, the imagined scrutiny. Meanwhile, I never got my tooth fixed. It's still chipped. And it's like, it wasn't a big deal. But at that moment, it felt like a big deal. But it was still, it's a deal. It's a lemon. It's something. But like, it's not the end of the world. That's how I feel. Ooh. Yeah, Hangman just flew out. So like, slow down. Don't make any hasty decisions right now. If you've been like, if something has happened and you've been wanting to like, I don't know, get rid of something or change something quickly, don't make hasty decisions right now. This is a good time to like, turn it upside down, sleep on it. Okay. Yeah, we have Justice card coming out bottom of the deck. I don't know why, but I feel like this has something to do with like politics, like the political people. Like recently there was that funeral and like all the people were there, like all the presidents and the ex-presidents and all the people, Nancy Pelosi. I don't know what this has to do with it, but I feel like there's justice in that. I feel like something's gonna be revealed that makes everything easier, which is what I said on January 1st. I feel like this year is gonna be that year where like you thought you had to work hard for something or you thought you had to like grind for something and then it just falls in your lap or like it just happens or it's already done. Like you build up all this energy to do something because that's what we had to do in the past. But because of all the hard work and people waking up, clearing all the shit, it's easier. I feel like when I talk about certain things, a lot of people don't like know what I mean or know what I'm talking about. And I've been thinking about like making like a video where I talk about everything and then just like posting it and like having it be like the first video you see to watch on my YouTube channel. So that way I don't have to like re-explain every single time, but I also don't be feeling like it. So basically, I don't even know if I want to like talk about this today. I will just say everything is not what it seems. And many of the things that we've been told are lies and are backwards. And I will give you an example, although this might not be a very good example, but it's something I've been thinking about recently. Because I was reading this book called The Misses by E.L. James, the author of the 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah, 50 Shades of Grey. And she was the main character was from Albania. Probably getting it wrong. She was from a different country than I am from. And there, for yes, they do this. For yes, they do this. For no. And I was like, oh, that's backwards. But then if you watch people in real life, and if you watch people in movies, whenever they have those big confessional scenes, like, oh, I love you so much, I would never hurt you. They always do this. They always do this. And I used to always think like, oh, that's a sign that the actor is lying. But if you do this in real life, if you have conversations with people and there's these moments of like deep truth, that moment of deep truth overrides what you've been taught, that this is yes. It overrides that, and you go back. People can't help in that raw moment but to go back to their true self and do this for yes. And this is what I mean when I say that things are not as they seem, and we have been misled, lied to, information omitted, manipulated, twisted away from our natural selves, because the more that you are away from your natural, like organic self, the less in power you are. And the less in power you are, the more your power is given away or delegated to someone else. And the more your power is delegated to someone else, the more pain and suffering that goes on, the more you're traumatized, the more you're likely to continue in these like karmic patterns. The longer this shit goes on, and like the longer it takes to wake up, you know? So that's kind of what I mean. That's kind of what I'm what I'm talking about. I wish you could like see the cards. Maybe I tilt this down a little bit. There you go. You can see the cards. Okay. Whew, King of Cups. So speaking of confession, so this is what I was saying earlier, but now it's tied into romantic connections. If you aren't in a romantic connection, it's okay. Just relate it to whatever is going on in your life, or you could just sit here and listen to me talk, because apparently I have a nice voice, I think. I don't know. I need to stop talking, honestly, because my voice. Basically, King of Cups, there's gonna be like if you've been waiting on like someone to respond to your message or to tell you something, there's gonna be a confession. Speaking of confessions with the nodding, there's gonna be a confession with this King of Cups. Like there's gonna be a truth coming out about what's been going on, why they've been acting a certain way, how they really feel. But, however, you will need to be patient. You will need to be patient. And I feel like distract yourself with other things. Like if you're waiting on a response from somebody, like I said, this doesn't have to be romantic. This could be from a job. Do something else. Apply for a different job. Like start doing a hobby that you like. Like don't sit around waiting for this to come. It is coming. And also I feel like something coming doesn't, or whether or not something comes doesn't like dampen who you are and like how cool you are and like amazing things happening for you. I want everybody watching this right now to like take a moment and say like, I am everything. I am seeing everything I've ever wanted happen in my life, and I can't believe it. Like, say that. Like, it makes you feel so good. I am seeing everything I've ever wanted happen in my life, and I can't believe it. I am everything. I am accessing everything again. Um, the Fool card. She has this amethyst. Amethyst is is apparently really good for like addictions, and apparently it's because it's good for anxiety and addictions because I forgot, like, it helps you to like not want something so much. I don't know. It looks like this person is like holding a huge amethyst in their hand and like free falling. So yeah, because like anxiety is kind of an addiction, and that's why amethyst works well for like calming people down, because you get addicted to the thoughts. And that's what I was saying earlier, like, let go of the thoughts, let go of the myriad of just going on in your brain. It's clarified by the Queen of Wands, which is kind of what I was talking about earlier with this hangman energy of like, if a certain area in your life is blocked, like you can't get through it, or you haven't had that breakthrough moment yet, divert your attention and your creative energy to something else, to a different area. Like, this is something that you learn a lot with, like, I feel like any job, but I feel like any job working with technology, especially like if the Wi-Fi goes out or the system isn't working, but you still have to get things done, you pivot and you go to this, you do this instead. That's what is being called right now. They also do that in basketball. Four of Swords. This person looks like they're asleep or trying to go to sleep. So I feel like for this one, this has been me. I've been having like anxiety going to sleep and then anxiety when I wake up. And I feel like it's on purpose. I feel like a lot of times whenever we feel uncomfortable, we do all these things to try to immediately get out of feeling uncomfortable. But sometimes you're supposed to be uncomfortable. Like, it's showing you something. I feel like at this time, we're supposed to perhaps be getting less sleep and more rest. Less sleep and more rest. If you're watching this, give it a thumbs up. That would be so cool. Oh my gosh. Yes, less sleep and more rest. And by that, I mean cutting back, like I said, like all this energy that you're giving to something that it's blocked. It's blocked. So like, give it up. Focus, shift your energy to something else and flow that way. And I feel like once you do that, you might voluntarily have like longer nights where you're up creating something, or you have this idea and you don't want to give it up because you might lose it in the morning, something like that. I feel like someone here speaks 2 languages, which I feel like is easily accomplished in the States. Whoa, so yeah, wow. Under this 4 of Swords that I was just saying, like sometimes we rush to get rid of the uncomfortable feeling, but it's supposed to be there, is the Queen of Cups, like surrendering again. And I also want to point out, we had the King of Cups earlier, so there's definitely, I feel like divine counterparts are like, they don't know that they're going towards each other, but they are, you know, like, I feel like divine counterparts right now, like, are on 2 different sides, but they don't know that they're like, each side is like going towards each other. It reminds me of that scene in The Notebook where Allie's just like, she's going to, I think she already got proposed to. She's going to like dinner with Lance, her fiance. And like, technically that's like going away from Noah. Like, she's going to dinner with another man. And Noah, he's in town to get like permits or something to build a house for this woman he thinks he's lost. But both of them doing those separate or diverging away from each other actions actually leads them to cross paths. And that's how I feel. Like if you have someone you want, if you know someone as your twin flame or divine counterpart or soulmate, whatever you have it, and it's just blocked and you can't go the way you want to go towards them, go a different way, specifically a way that involves passion, letting go, surrendering to your emotions. And that on its own will naturally lead you to your divine counterpart. And I feel like there's like pain with that, which is okay. You can let there be pain with that. All right, give me a moment, please. All right. The next message that I was getting was about these bluebirds that started coming on my windowsill or on my roof line. I learned a while ago that bluebirds were like fuckers. They go to different birds' nests and they take over their shit. And so I knew that. And there's been these birds on this edge of my roof for a while now. And one day I was lying in bed and because I was laying back, I saw bluebirds come and rob them. I saw them come and like rob the birds that were there. The little birds that were there, they flew off and the bluebirds came and like was eating their food and shit. And I ran to the window and I was like, hey, get out of here, like leave them alone. And they left, the bluebirds left. But then they came back and now it's like it's their hunting ground now. They rob the house whenever they feel like it, or the nest, whatever, of the other birds. And what just occurred to me while I was using the Tibetan song bowl was that like sometimes like the ones who don't belong are supposed to be there. And this kind of goes with what I was saying earlier about like that uncomfortable feeling and wanting to immediately push it away, but it has something to tell you. Like for example, like invasive species. Like if I could, I would get rid of all invasive species, but sometimes the invasive species was always supposed to invade. And I feel like that's a message that's needed in the collective right now. And I feel like it's gonna hit harder later rather than sooner. Okay, so some things I want to like pass off before I go and like rest my throat and drink some hot tea because my tea is cold now. Some tips. If you ever feel like really like overwhelmed by like the energies and stuff and just feel really ungrounded, drinking water with a pinch of Himalayan salt will help you transmute the energies. Because our body it's an electric field. We have electric fields, you know, within and without our bodies. When you do like this and like connect your like feet, you'll feel like you'll breathe easier, like connected to yourself. Obviously, like hugging yourself, weighted blankets and stuff like that help a lot. I would also recommend people look up like the TED Talk on urine therapy. The TED Talk on urine therapy. And also fasting, surprisingly, I feel, or I've heard. A lot of this information I've gotten from Ramona Lappin and Darius J. Wright, which are both people on YouTube. And I've taken this advice from them, and these are the things that I've found to work for me. They've helped me significantly. Something else that I've been doing this for a while, but blessing my water, saying affirmations to my water. I love you dearly. I'm so glad you're here. You're so healthy for me. You're so good for me. That helps, but I was also told like to let it like sit with that. Say those affirmations and then leave it for an hour or two, like to let it absorb it. Because water has a memory, but it takes time to like integrate it. Most of the time I'm too impatient to do that, so I just end up drinking the water. Something else I want to say, like clean your decks. If you have tarot and oracle decks, clean them, cleanse them. I typically use selenite. I have this big piece. I love it so much. I love you. I'll do like this over it. I'll sit it over it overnight. You can also use like smoke, like sage and stuff. I think there's other things you can use. You can use sound, but just cleanse them. Like you could probably even just do this, like blowing the energy out from like previous things. And sitting in stillness, meditating helps significantly. Specifically like not moving, like sitting and not moving for as long as you can helps significantly. In terms of like getting clarity on things. Like when I want clarity on things and I'm like going crazy because everything's going too fast, sit and force yourself not to move. And that's when like you'll be able to like, or at least for me, you'll be able to like get out of that anxiety and tap into what's actually going on, because we can't see everything with our eyes as they are now, right? But there's more here. Like there could be a being in my room. There could be an angel in here, a guide in here, but I can't see them. But sitting in stillness like that, it turns off the things stopping you from being aware of them, and then you can see them. And you can feel them, and then you can ask them for help. Show me what I need to see. Show me the answers. Show me what I need to do. Show me what I need to be focusing on right now. So that's also something else I want to say is like practice facing the fears. Any fears you have around beings or things being around you or demons or whatever, like practice facing that fear. Because as I always say, who gonna check you, boo? Like there's no one or nothing more powerful than you. There's nothing that could hurt your soul without your permission. There's nothing. Who gonna check you? There's nothing bigger than you. It's only your fears that like convince you otherwise and that do the most damage. So practice facing those. Another tip I'd like to share is that whenever I have things or energies bothering me, it's usually on my shoulders. So what I'll do is like, I'll like throw them off like that, get off me. Or I'll like use selenite, or I'll use Florida water. Love Florida water. I'll put it on me. This, you don't need much, and you could probably even like dilute it with water, but it's harmless. I have fairly sensitive skin, and I put it on my skin like this. It doesn't do anything. I don't get any breakouts, but of course, do what's best for you. If you feel like this will break you out or something, like don't put it on your skin or water it down or something, or do your research on what Florida water contains. Whenever I feel like unsafe in my home or something that's really bothering me consistently, I will use sigil magic. You can look up what that is. Sigil magic, to clear it out. And rue and palo santo, incense are really good. Rue, the incense, is really good for like, it's like what's it called, like the evil eye necklace or bracelet or symbol. It's like that, but like in the form of an incense. It sends back any negative or unwanted energy away from you. Excuse me. Is that all? I feel like it might be. I feel like that might be all for today. I try to like share things that like help me, because a lot of people who are sensitive, who are very spiritually sensitive, they suffer a lot. Cayenne pepper and like oil, it's just moved, is really good for like arthritis. If you have like joint pain and stuff, cayenne, a little bit of cayenne pepper and like oil, and like rub it on your skin. Obviously be careful and like research don't just do what I say. Like research and like plan it out, but it does help with arthritis. Jet, the crystal, I think I have a piece. This is a piece. Yeah, jet, it's just black. Helps with arthritis as well. Pains in the jaw. If you have any issues with your vagina and you feel like it's a spiritual thing or an emotional thing, what I have found in my research is that the vagina is connected to the throat chakra and the heart chakra too, I think. And if you think about it, it has lips. So you're probably not, like, ask yourself, what am I not saying? What am I afraid to say? And that might be connected to any issues with the vagina. But obviously, don't listen to just me. Do your own research, trust your own self, and always consult a medical professional should you feel called to. And as I always say, if you have any chronic illnesses or something physical bothering you, it's probably emotional. I would highly recommend you get a reading. But if you're not on that level yet to where you like trust like stuff like that, check out other cultures' medicines besides westernized medicine. Check out what other cultures, other tribes do for these same things, and you might find some relief there. And I feel like the last thing I want to say is like trust your body. Like today I'm probably going to take a walk, but I haven't been walking. I used to walk every day like for exercise, and then I just didn't want to do it anymore. And I used to like get mad at myself for like not walking. But like your body knows, like it knows what's best for you. It just does. And you never know, like it could have been something dangerous if you would have exercised or done whatever thing we like tell ourselves we need to do for our health. If you would have done that, it could have led to something worse. You could have fell, you could have gotten an injury, but your body knew that it didn't want that. So trust and listen to your body. I would say, even if you've been traumatized or you have PTSD and your body reacts to stuff incorrectly from the past, I personally would rather trust like a false signal from my body than to force it to like go against something my body doesn't want to do. You just know. I would say like another example is like I went into this crystal shop, and the person that was the cashier or the owner or employee was busy talking to other people. And I came in there looking for specific things. I came in there looking for something to help with addiction and like pain, like physical pain in the body. And while she was talking, I went around and I just went to certain things and I picked some up and put them in the little basket. And then when she was finally done, I asked her for specific things, for the things I just listed. And she took me to the exact items that I'd already went towards. I feel like because of how we are socialized and trained in the world, we're trained to always look for somebody outside of ourselves to tell us what to do. But your body knows, and it'll tell you easily, I feel like a lot of the times, what to do. You don't need anybody else. And the more that you trust yourself and spend time with yourself and affirm yourself, the more easily like the answers will just be there. I feel like a lot of people assume and expect me to want to be this goddess who like channels messages for them and like I give them the messages, but that's not true at all. Like I said at the beginning of this, the intention of this is to empower people and to remind people who they are. You can do what I do and more. And we all have these beautiful gifts. And I feel like we should be celebrating them more or paying more attention to them. Because like I said about my dreams being more prophetic now, I didn't notice it until just now that it was doing that I was becoming better at it. It's like, that's only because I wasn't like paying enough attention to myself. Or I don't think like when it happens, I'm like, it's okay. That's incredible that I can do that. It's incredible that I can see like future events play out before they happen. That's fucking cool. Take the time to appreciate yourself, your body, your soul for these miracles that it does for you for free. Because a lot of us neglect ourselves. We just toss ourselves to the side. They're okay. You know, we're incredible. Appreciate yourself. Write some affirmations down today. Listen to some affirmations. Drink some vitamin C. And I will see you next time. Don't forget, thumbs up, subscribe, and share, and leave a sweet comment. None nasty, because I will get at you. So if you don't want to be got at, sweet comments. And I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support.